All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the daily update of my 1000 days challenge. This is day 57. So let's get things started. All right, so a quick update as this is the weekly update. You'll notice that for S&P 500 on the weekly chart and stuff like that, most of the market structures you can see remain relatively the same for S&P 500 and also for Nasdaq. However, for ASA, SHA, and KWEB, they actually transited to bearish market structure. So that is something to bear in mind in the short term wise. It does look a little bit bearish. You can take a little bit look on the ESH over here. You see it's high, a lower high, a low, and this week finally closes with a lower low. So it does shows that it could be a short-term pullback because overall you can see this market structure is still very in the bullish sense because it's making a lot of high highs. So short little retracement is considered healthy still, especially if it reaches the 20 exponential moving average on the weekly chart per se, or even on the 50 simple moving average. That is still considered a good upward trend momentum remains intact. And the same thing we see over on KWEB. Even though there's this bearish market structure, it doesn't mean that it has turned bearish, absolutely, but rather to say it could be it's more likely towards a healthy pullback. And I could see potentially hitting over here or even here, this region, and I could potentially be adding more. Otherwise, investment-wise, I'm holding on to still a little bit like 20 to 25% my portfolio in terms of in cash. And I'm still waiting for some sort of like a greater discount, especially with the development in the current world economy as of this point in time. But do bear in mind that the stock market and the economy is not 100% correlated on the exact same time per se. So there is something to bear in mind. Yeah. All right, so investment-wise, nothing has changed. I'm still waiting for some sort of clearer clarification in terms of the price before I enter for my dollar cost average. Otherwise, I'll wait for my time to pass, meaning to say every past 2 months, 3 months, the allocated sum, I will at least buy whatever price it is by the end of the month per se. All right, so more interestingly, I will touch on to the Bitcoin, which is the main market that I do trading basis. All right, so on the crypto market, yeah, basically on the weekly chart, the weekly chart, I'm not updating today because the market hasn't closed. So moving to the daily chart, what I do see over here is a high, a higher high, a low, and a lower low still. So still in the neutral market structure. You see it over here in neutral market structure, bullish, neutral, and here. And similarly, yesterday I say I was waiting for consolidation, and today it looks like it is indeed consolidating. You see very nicely, especially on say the 4-hour chart. Yep. So over here I see this nice consolidation pattern. You can see like even if you were to count like a very standard wave, you count ABC and the ABC sort of wave. Yeah. So this will be like a typical consolidation pattern. But of course, yeah, this will be in terms of the price action. So ideally, even if it does breaks out over here, I wouldn't want to enter just yet because of course it could be just A, B, C. This will be the first corrective wave, and this could be this could be the wave one of the third wave. So it could be a first wave, second wave, and this could be the third wave and break nicely above. In which case, if such a scenario does occur, what I will do is I'll wait for the wave 4, which is the pullback phase before entering one more towards the upside. However, if it consolidate nicely because this is a weekend over here, then if it does breaks out, I'll put a buy stop order. I would not put a buy stop order here or a sell stop order here yet in terms of price action wise. All right, so that's basically about it. Look over here. So yeah, either I wait for, if you read, you can take a pause and read over here. Either I wait for one more day to put my buy and sell stop order. Otherwise, for now, if it does cleanly break above like what I mentioned, I'll wait for pullback before breaking above again, even a higher high. That's where I will have a tighter stop loss, and the target remains over here. And if there's a good risk to reward, I will enter, or at least a great risk to reward over here, then I'll enter as well. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, and yeah, I think before I end the day, I need to do just a very quick update in terms of my balance. You'll notice over here, similarly, it's dropped a little bit. That's because, okay, the drop actually for two main reasons. One is because there was a short setup taken on the experimental setup for Ethereum, and that closed in a loss. So that loss was half of R, which means it's $50. On the other hand, I've also updated in terms of the margin the futures funding fee. So future funding rate was taken into consideration as I review my portfolio. So bear in mind that actually when I first started this challenge itself, I actually traded very little in terms of the futures market itself, especially using Binance. But right now I'm actually, this balance that you see over here is traded purely on Binance. And this current balance is what you see in terms of my journaling that I do in terms of my trading and stuff like that. So I've actually rematched it with the transaction record over at Binance, transaction history and stuff like that. So I match it closely by taking into more consideration in terms of the funding fee itself, which I realize is taking quite a significant portion. So probably over the weekend and stuff like that, I'll be looking over the weekend and over the next coming week, I'll be looking at ways of how to minimize the cost of the funding rates and stuff like that. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.